Okay, so a little bit about the software evaluation assignment. Um, this will sort of give you an introduction to some of the tools that are currently available for your use as a teacher, as well as perhaps even a student. So, what you're going to do is you're going to look for software to evaluate, and you can go to the Google Play Store or the Chrome Web Store, maybe iTunes, and here's a list of some other places you can go. Um, I would recommend choosing a tool that's free. So, try to avoid something that requires some sort of disk to be inserted or a purchase on like a Wii or a PlayStation or something like that. Um, Maybe even there's a free version of a game that you would originally have to pay for that you can access. Just make sure if you do choose a paid version of something, you identify that you have in fact paid for it. But the issue with choosing something that you have to pay for means most of us are not going to be able to utilize it because we're not going to go paying for all of these tools. So I recommend you choosing one that's free, but you're going to essentially choose a software and evaluate it based on this rubric. So it asks you to rate um, the software, and you can determine its ease of use, if it is actually child proof, how educationally sound it is, how much fun it is, and how well it was actually designed. And then lastly, its overall value. So, given perhaps maybe the amount of time or the different hardware you would need to play it, um, you can sort of determine its overall value. So, in addition to actually rating it on a scale here of 1 through 5, 1 being always, and 0, 1 through 5 here, it tells you divide by the number of items in the category. This number can then be converted to a 0 to 5 scale. Or you could simply just say on a scale of 1 to 5, this first criteria, it got a 1. This second criteria, it got a 3. This next criteria, it got a 5. And then you can average it out. So if it had 14 criteria, you add up all of your numbers and divide it by 14, and that will give you this particular category's score. And then I do ask you to compose a couple sentences about um, why you came up with this score for each of these categories. So if we look back on the assignment, write a 3 to 4 sentence justification for evaluation for each of the 6 categories presented. So as you go through the 6 categories, let's say it scored relatively low on being childproof, but extremely high on educational value. In the end, you might decide that it's an overall good value because it might take students some time to learn how to navigate the tool, but once they do navigate it, it's actually very rewarding in terms of educational value. So you give it an overall score of an 8. Um, so that is the assignment for the software evaluation, and you just want to make sure that you upload the that rubric that you've completed to Dropbox.